Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Oop, this has wheels. My name is Carl Highshaw, and I'm the founder and CEO of the AMAAD Institute. We absolutely appreciate everyone coming out to join us on this evening of stories. It's a great time to reconnect after a long pandemic. Hopefully we're going to continue to be going in that right space, and we appreciate you coming with us. AMAAD is an acronym for Arming Minorities Against Addiction and Disease, and we really fashion ourselves as this intersectional health and wellness organization that focuses on community. And we host a number of programs that address health and wellness, whole person care, including HIV, health education and risk reduction, and community engagement, specifically related to ending the HIV epidemic in Los Angeles County. And we're really excited to be in partnership with a host of wonderful players who do great work, including the LAC-USC Medical Center Foundation, who's a partner of ours as a part of a contract with the County of Los Angeles Department of Public Health, specifically the Division of HIV and STD programs. And so we've been working together with the foundation to really bring to scale our community engagement effort. And this is one of that first opportunities that's coming from that's being led by our cohort, our South LA cohort. At AMAAD, we often say that we are South LA on purpose, and so we are really excited that the South LA cohort for the Hive is facilitating tonight's discussion. Importantly, important partners like the Foundation for the AIDS Monument, FAM, thought it'd be a great idea to partner in a way that allowed us to merge. And we thought, well, if we can make it happen, if the South LA cohort agreed, that we would definitely pull this together. And so we're excited that we are here. We're excited to be amongst family and friends in this intimate gathering to hear stories. The ending the HIV epidemic is an important piece for LA County. There's a goal of preventing new HIV infections by 75% by 2023. And the hope is to raise awareness around 4 important pillars: diagnosing people, treating people, preventing people, and responding as quickly as possible. And so we're hoping that much of the stories that are being discussed about can be thought about within that framework. And it's an important chapter in this epidemic as we turn the corner. We are near the end. We are near the end, and if as a community we can stand together and help raise awareness, reduce stigma, we can eradicate it. I'm going to turn it over to Stephen Simon, who is the Chief Diversity Officer for FAM, the Foundation for the AIDS Monument, and he's going to set us up for what's next.
I wanted to join Carl in welcoming everyone tonight to really say how glad we are to partner with AMAAD on this Stories event. So again, I'm Stephen Simon. I'm a FAM board member. I'm Executive Director of the City of Los Angeles Department on Disability, and I was the AIDS Coordinator for the city under Mayors Hahn and Villaraigosa. I do this because I love it, and it's the right thing to do. And on behalf of the Foundation for the AIDS Monument, I want to take just 2 minutes here to tell you about the monument and our mission. And to start that, I first want to introduce and give a shout out to Erwin Rappaport. He is our board chair. Wave, Erwin. Give him some love, please. He's one of the early leaders that really recognized and envisioned a broadly inclusive monument addressing HIV and AIDS in Los Angeles City, County, and beyond. And the monument is designed to help us remember those we've lost. It's designed to remember and recognize those who are surviving and thriving, to remember the battles we've fought, remember the vigils we've been part of, remember the caregivers. It's there to celebrate those who stepped up when others stepped away. The monument is here to educate future generations. And while the body of the monument, the physical body of the monument, is a structure, an extraordinary piece of artwork, I think a little larger than this room, that is going to be the centerpiece of a revitalized park in West Hollywood. If that's the body of the monument, the heart of the monument is the stories, our stories, your stories. And to that end, FAM is working with community organizations all across Los Angeles to do more of these story circles. Over the next 2 months, we'll have this event here tonight. We'll be up in Hollywood next. We'll be at El Pueblo, the birthplace of Los Angeles, for another event. We're going to continue to capture the depth and diversity of the stories that make up HIV and AIDS in our communities, the voices across this region to tell stories in an oral history exactly as our ancestors have been doing to tell history for centuries. So thank you again, all of you, for being part of that mission. Now I'd like to turn it over to the Senior Project Manager for the Ending the HIV Epidemic Project, collaboration of the AMAAD Institute and LA County USC Medical Center Foundation in partnership with LA County Department of Public Health, Jamar Moore. I think you already know him.
That's a lot of stuff to add, right? I would like to first say thank you all for showing up and being here today. I am thrilled to be able to stand in front of you and do a quick introduction. Yes. Can't find it here really quickly. All right, so tonight we are giving a special recognition to Shane Jenkins. Shane is the Vice President of the Magic Johnson Foundation. AMAAD commends Shane for her dedication and accomplishments as an organizer and a leader. We know Shane as someone with a long history of working and raising awareness about HIV in the urban and Black communities around the country, and we want you to know her as well. The Magic Johnson Foundation is the beating heart of Magic Johnson Enterprises and the Magic Johnson's Company, and the success of the foundation is a brilliant reflection of Shane's commitment to the work and to the mission set forth by the Magic Johnson himself. Maybe you know the story. Just a few years after creating his company and still at the peak of his athletic career, Magic Johnson learned he was HIV positive after a routine physical. He was called back home from a preseason game in Utah so that the Lakers' doctor could deliver the news in person. When Johnson received his diagnosis, he was devastated. He announced his retirement from the NBA and made his HIV status public very quickly. He found the Magic Johnson Foundation as the HIV advocacy part of his company, and then he opened up about his experiences to help make people more aware and understanding the virus. He also publicly advocated for Congress and the White House to spend more money to fight the disease. This was in the early 1990s, before medication was developed to prevent HIV from developing into AIDS. In her many years with the foundation, Shane has matched Magic's dedication and his passion for spreading the message of safe sex and the importance of getting tested so everyone knows their HIV status. Shane's outreach efforts to schools and Black churches have been very successful. As the powerhouse behind the Magic Johnson Foundation, Shane has helped to change the public face of HIV. Let's please give a warm welcome to Shane Jenkins.
Well, good evening, guys and ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much. And I'm sorry I didn't bring my purse, so I have everything with me. But thank you for this wonderful recognition, and it's an honor to be here, talking about HIV and sharing at the Magic Johnson Park. And it really comes full circle for me to be here tonight as I started working with him 22 years ago as his receptionist. And it was such an honor for me to work for him, and he was the first person I ever knew that was HIV positive. And just being around him and his demeanor, his joy, his happiness, that nothing could stop him. He's always said, I have HIV, but HIV doesn't have me. And it was from my experience working with him and born and raised in South LA, I knew I needed to do more. From the community in which I lived in, there was no testing, no one was talking about it. And so then I wanted to embark on a new program for the foundation. It was initially established to raise awareness and raise funds for grassroots organizations, but that wasn't enough. We raised a total of $14 million to grassroots organizations. We've tested over 400,000 individuals, and still, that wasn't enough. We went into high schools nationally. We created an HIV Erase program. We funded Charles Jr. University's first testing unit, so you've probably seen it running around LA. That was from the money that Mr. Johnson gave himself before he started the foundation. Excuse me. We partnered with AIDS Healthcare Foundation on 7 HIV clinics. We were part of the National AIDS Strategy with the White House and Barack Obama when we went to the White House to do that. And HIV still hit home, right? And here I am, my family's excited that I'm doing the work, I'm talking to them about it, but my cousin still was infected with the virus. And still my family had the stigma. And as much as I came home to talk about it, as much as they came to the testing events on Slauson and Western or Crenshaw and Manchester, it still hit home. And they gave me questions that I was shocked. Can I touch his glass? You know, do I put a towel on the couch? I'm like, no, he's fine, right? And I felt good to put him into treatment and resources, but it wasn't enough. His wife, he passed it to his wife, she passed away. So the stigma was still there, and it's still here. He is well right now, but currently he says, I don't have it, and I take vitamins, I don't take medicines. And so that for me is why I still continue to do the work, why I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited about what AMAAD is doing, and you had the organization in Inglewood at one point, which was great. And if nothing else, while we're here tonight talking about it, let's not stop here, right? Let's not continue to just stop here. Let's continue to talk about it, and let's talk outside of this. Let's talk outside of our normal choir that we're speaking to. Because if I never knew that it would have hit home the way it did, and I want to continue to do more. I want to be an ally. Please feel free to reach out to the Magic Johnson Foundation or Magic Johnson Enterprises. It's been 30 years since Mr. Johnson made his announcement. And who would have thought? And he talks about it still to his day, and he's so thankful. And he thinks about all the organizations today that are still around, and we're just hoping that many will continue. And believe it or not, the foundation shut down 2 years ago. He wanted to sunset. He figured his legacy has been developed, and long and behold, he couldn't let go. He couldn't stop. And so we started the foundation again. So I'm looking forward to fund the organizations that's in here. I'm excited to partner with each and every one of you. And please, continue to do your work. It's important. I think about my son who's 24, and I think about my oldest 2 kids who are parents now. I want them to live in a community to where they don't have to worry about HIV. And, you know, it brings me to tears when I think that here we are, and I've been doing this probably for 25 years, and there's still new infections. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's stick together. Let's not this be the one time we do this. Let's this not be the same individuals we talk to every day. Let's continue to move forward, press through, and continue the good fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Shane, so much for your extraordinary work. So now, as lead facilitator, I have some housekeeping to do, just to talk about the structure of what we're going to do tonight. So we're going to be telling our stories, right? We're going to be keeping those histories going. This is not a therapy session, though I think it's going to be extraordinarily therapeutic. Each of your circles has a facilitator. Facilitators, you want to just wave to your group? Everyone sees your, I'm over at table 1. I'll join you in a moment. Your facilitator is going to help you watch your time. You're going to start, each of you has a 5-minute story to tell. Just tell your story. Just talk about how HIV has impacted your life. And again, we're going to keep that time tight because we want to make sure everyone in that circle has an opportunity to express themselves and to tell their stories. Then after each speaker goes, we're going to have an opportunity for everyone else in the group to talk about it a little bit. Reflect on the commonalities you're experiencing. Reflect on how that story made you feel. Again, we've just got 5 minutes for that to go around the table. And our main energy in that space is that we're doing so in a way that we're going to, take a breath and really feel that story we've just heard. We are going to leave our judgments at the door. This is a space of respect, right? We're there to provide a safe and loving space for people to tell their stories. Now, the stories are confidential for the sake of tonight, okay? So what happens in the circle stays in the circle. We are not videotaping your individual stories tonight. Now, there will be an opportunity at the end of the event, I think we're going to do it over in this corner, where the videographer can interview you and talk to you about sort of how it went for you tonight and how this experience sat with you. And you may get a call in the near future from someone from FAM who may want to discuss with you recording your story for inclusion in our digital archives. So, facilitators, you have a notepad in your swag bag. Do take notes. You're not cataloging folks' stories, but if there's stories that you want to make sure FAM is aware of and people we might want to reach out sooner rather than later, please let us know. So, at the conclusion of the stories of the circle sessions, we're going to form a single closing circle. And we're going to ask you to stand if you're able, or sit if need be, but we're going to place a candle in front of you, or you're going to take your candle and place it in front of you. We're going to make a circle, and we'll have a last moment of reflection led by our good friend and colleague, the Reverend Russell Thornhill of Unity Fellowship Church. And finally, there are refreshments in the back of the room for after the circles. So now, let me please welcome Leah Collins, a behavioral health therapist from AMAAD, who's going to lead us in a brief meditation to ground and center us. Leah.
Thank you, Stephen. Hello. My name is Leah Collins, and I'm a behavioral health counselor therapist at the AMAAD Institute. Thank you all for inviting me to lead you in this breathing exercise. You all are so courageous in sharing your stories and experiences. These breathing exercises are to center, relax, and ground you in peace as you share and unpack your heavy experiences. Sometimes heavy experiences can cause flight or fight, freeze or fawn responses. Emotions can trigger these physical responses in which the brain sets off an alarm to the nervous system. Breathing exercises can counteract this. These exercises can be used at any time, so please feel free to put them in your toolbox as a coping skill. So at this time, I would like to ask everybody to get as comfortable as they can in their chairs. You can stand if you like, or you can sit. Place your feet flat on the ground, as even as possible, evenly. Elongate your spine so you can sit up straight and straighten out your posture. Be careful not to strain yourselves, just be as comfortable as possible. Drop your shoulders and relax them. Point the crown of your head as if you're trying to hit the ceiling to stretch your neck. Be careful not to strain yourself. Be comfortable. We're going to do 4 breathing exercises. You're going to breathe in your nose, smell the cookies. You're going to breathe out your mouth with ease, like you're cooling off your tea or your coffee, or your favorite beverage, hot beverage. Is everyone ready? Let's go for round 1. We'll breathe in the nose, smell the cookies, fill up your lungs and feel the oxygen just flow through your body. Hold and breathe out with ease, slowly. Release, blowing out the heat from the coffee or the tea. Round 2, we'll breathe in the nose, feel the oxygen flowing through your body. circulating through your body. And breathe out. Round 3. Breathe in, smell the cookies. Hold. And we'll breathe out with ease. One more round. Breathe in the nose, smell the cookies. Hold. Release. Give everyone a moment to relax. How's everyone feeling? Okay. I hope everyone is feeling well. I would like to remind you that you can use these breathing exercises at the table as you unpack your heavy experiences. You may feel overwhelmed with emotions or feel heavy emotions. Please don't be afraid to breathe and take your time, and then you can come back. These breathing exercises are here for you to relax, ground yourself, and center yourself as you share. Thank you so much.
Leah, thank you so much. That was lovely, and I hope everyone is now relaxed and ready for our hour of storytelling, which will begin right now. Thank you for participating tonight. Telling your story was an act of bravery and of honesty, and I really hope it brought everyone some peace and that you felt supported and heard tonight. I'm pleased to introduce Reverend Elder Russell Thornhill of the Unity Fellowship Church and the CEO of the Minority AIDS Project, who will deliver a closing message to round out our evening of storytelling and fellowship. So if everyone could please stand up and form one large circle, join hands if you feel comfortable, or bring a candle if you prefer. Yes. But we're just gonna all join hands and form one large circle.
And as we come into this moment, I bring in the spirit of my mentor, my guide for so many years, Archbishop Carl Bean, whose shoes I attempt to stand in today as the co-pastor of Unity Fellowship Church and the Chief Executive Officer of Minority AIDS Project. And as you're standing elbow to elbow, allow me to share a story before we close. There were 3 brothers, 3 people. Their story was told by the prophet Daniel. And some of you may know them as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You all know this story. And they were thrown into a furnace together. And they were bound like you were bound, elbow to elbow. They were bound tightly, firmly. And even when the tyrant tried to increase the heat of the furnace, they were tightened together, elbow to elbow. And at one point, they even fell to their knees, bound together, elbow to elbow. And then when Tyrant King came to look in, He didn't see 3 people, he saw 4. These 3 people were bound elbow to elbow with the 4th angel that was over them. And when they came out of the furnace, they came out elbow to elbow with this angel around them. And that's got to be the story of our journey. Is no matter how tough it gets, no matter where you come from, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, MAP, AMAAD, in the meantime, Wellness Center, name your organization. Name your organization. Name it. Give it, lift it up right now. Name your organization. Name your organization. Doesn't matter the name of the organization, we got to walk elbow to elbow through the rough times and knowing that there's a power greater than us that's carrying us through the rough times. We got to be right there because I need you. You need me. We need each other to do the work of eradicating AIDS in our community. And it's possible. We have come a long way, but we did it elbow to elbow, knowing that was a power greater than ours. And I invite you to close your eyes right where you are. And you are standing on somebody's shoulders right now. And I want you to think about who that person is, who that transgender woman is, transgender man is. Invite them into the space. You're standing on their shoulders. That gay boy, that gay man, invite them into the space. You're standing on their shoulders. The heterosexual man, woman, bisexual, lesbian woman, invite them into the space. You're standing on their shoulders, elbow to elbow. Wise and wonderful Creator, we stop, we thank you, and we give you praise right now. We give you honor and glory right now because you are the angel that guides us elbow to elbow on this journey. You have never left us nor forsaken us. And for that, we give you praise and we give you the glory. Continue to look on this group right now, God. Continue to guide us, God. Continue to fuse your wisdom in us. Continue to fill us with your love that's eternal as we walk elbow to elbow. Guide us through the rough days, God. And we will forever and always be so careful to glorify your name, God. We thank you for the ancestors that came before us, those shoulders that we stand on right now. And then continue to infuse us with their wisdom and how they moved elbow to elbow to continue the work that you called us to do. Now, God, as we leave this place, let us never leave the consciousness of this moment where we are elbow to elbow, doing the work that says love is for everyone, that your love is eternal, and that you'll never leave us nor forsake us, and nothing can ever separate us from your love. And for that we say thank you. For that we say thank you. We give you the praise and we glorify your name. And in the name of love, peace, and blessings, in the name of all divine love in the universe, we just say together, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Somebody ought to give somebody some praise. Somebody ought to give God some praise. Somebody ought to give God some praise. God bless you all and thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
What motivated me to tell my story tonight? I remember my sister and the heartbreak that she had when I lost my nephew to AIDS. I had not known anyone personally who had died from the battle with AIDS when my sister lost her only son. And I remember the scream that she had when she lost her son. To this day, I never forgot that, and that was over 30 years ago, and that motivated me to tell my story tonight. And why do I think it's important for the AIDS Monument to collect stories about HIV and AIDS? Because I feel that no matter how big or how small it is, we all have stories to tell and we all have stories to share. and that our stories can help, and it will help someone. And even when you think that you don't have a story, you do have a story.
I'm Ronald Evans, and what motivated me to come and tell my story tonight was that I am personally impacted by the HIV and AIDS. I am positive, I am undetectable. That means I am not able to transmit it through sexual contact and things like that. It's important to have these stories and these monuments because to let people know that you're not alone. It is scary, it can be very disheartening, but there are medications and support for you to have so that you can continue to live your life as freely and happily as you should be able to, free of judgment and stigmatism. And even just the things that you feel inside, you can be free of that just to know that there's a place or something meant to honor you and what you've gone through. So that's why I came tonight.
Hey everyone, my name is Clarence Wade. Good question. What motivated you to tell your story tonight? It was kind of a thing that it's kind of contagious. You know, everyone's doing it. Everybody's empowered to do that. The space that was created really put me in a state of vulnerability in a good way because of the comfort and the encouragement from everybody that participated. And I'm usually an outspoken type of guy, so pretty much. Second question. Why is it important for the AIDS Monument to collect stories about HIV AIDS? Really to raise awareness. Like they say, ignorance is bliss, and with the human nature, ignorance could induce fear. So we want to eliminate fear and ignorance. We want everybody to be aware. You know, this is the age of enlightenment anyway. And this particular topic, HIV AIDS, is something for all of us to be aware of, from the historicity of it to where it's now, how we're dealing with it as human beings.
Hi, my name is Caleb Walker Williams, and what brought me to Story Circles, I have been groomed and conditioned to believe that we're only as sick as our secrets. And through us giving our testimony and sharing our stories, we find solidarity, we find strength, and we find power. And through that, we're going to be able to end the HIV and AIDS epidemic. The AIDS Monument is so important and so vital to the fabric of our city because we've lost so many people. There are so many people whose stories we'll never hear, whose potential we'll never get the benefits of. So in order to honor them and to celebrate their lives and to honor the fact that they were here and they existed, we have to have this monument to commemorate their stories, their lives, and their experiences. And it was such a privilege and honor to be a part of the process.
What motivated me to tell my story tonight was just being moved by the whole story of the AIDS epidemic and just the stories of people that I've come to know and just very close friends that was affected by the virus and that are no longer with us and that at some point succumbed to the virus because of just the level of illness that they were at the moment. I think that it's necessary to memorialize those people. I think it's important to still be in conversation because although we have made many strides, what's going on today, there's a new mindset that people think that because we've made a number of strides, that it's not really an issue anymore. And as a result, people are still being infected with the AIDS virus. And it's a tragic kind of story. And I hate that it is still, that there isn't still enough recognition out there. And for some reason, people have chosen to close their eyes to the situation and not really deal with it for whatever reason. But my hope is that there's some major progress that is made and that the Indian AIDS epidemic movement can really accomplish the outcomes that they want to make happen. I think it's important also for the AIDS Monument to collect stories for the AIDS Monument, to, as I mentioned earlier, to make sure that people memorialize and that their stories are told and that their imprint or their footprint on the planet is talked about, because we lost so many amazing people to the epidemic, and their lives were cut short right at their prime. And it is important to just to tell their stories and to continue to tell their stories, and use those stories. Hopefully, that someone can gravitate on or be able to relate to the story, and learn a benefit from those stories, or to pay it forward. Because anytime you tell a story, in most cases, someone can either go into the experience, in the experience, or walking away from the experience. I know someone that have done all three. And so it is important that until there is a cure, that the work continues to move forward.